Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. Hello, everyone. It's the new year. We did it somehow. Um, Hope everyone is well and able to hear me fine and see me fine. It's what day is it? January 5th. It's Tuesday. It's Lightroom Live tonight. So I hope everybody's ready. I have I have a request first of all. Put down in the chat where you are watching from. I always like to know where my people are. What I decided to do is a New Year's resolution for this show. And that is not to jump around in the timeline. I've got, 78 photos sitting here. I'm just going to start at photo number 1. And we're going to work our way through. And that's how it's going to go. So, oh, you can hear me, Mike. That's great. Rhode Island, NorCal, Indiana. Hello, Travis. How are you? Losing feeling in your fingertips. That's not good. You're watching from your house. Welcome, RDMCK22. South Korea. Hello. How are you? New York. New York. I wish I could do accents for everybody, but I can't. And nor should I. Not cool. Utah. Still. You know what, Vidjo? You are exempt. You don't have to say anything. I'll know where you are from. Missouri. Be a cold day before I recognize Missouri. Yeah, Ed Main. Hello. Welcome. Like I said, what the plan is now, I think, for this program is to just go in chronological order. We're going to go through all the photos as they come in, 1 through whatever. Hello, Bree. How are you? I'd love to hear a Missouri accent if you've got one in you. I don't. That's probably it's probably one of the hardest ones that I could possibly try to muster. Although I did hear one on 30 Rock once. Anyway, yeah. New Year's resolution, not going to jump around. We're just going to go through all the photos as they come in chronologically. So this is how it's going to be. Because I figured, you know what? I felt like when I jump around, I'm inherently looking for photos that I think are going to be easier to correct. And the whole point of Lightroom Live is to correct your photos, not the ones I want to do. So let's just do them all. How's that sound? Hi, Big Red Bitch. It sounds so weird saying that. And I wonder if that affects my monetization status when I do these videos. Anyway, let's pop over to Lightroom. If you've never watched this show before, Lightroom Live is where I take your photos that you have submitted, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com, and I bring them into Lightroom by Adobe here, and we correct them in real time together. And I kind of walk you through the process and how it's done and all the steps that kind of go along with it. So without much further ado, there's always room for a little ado. Let's pop over to that and start working on the first photo of the day, which is from Todd Ostman. Todd always delivers some really great photos. I love his work. And this looks like a Traxxas TRX4 Defender. Hey, RC Patina guy. Yeah, you saw the PC rig. Things are definitely progressing on that truck, and I'm pretty happy about it. If you haven't checked the Instagram, actually, you know what? I have them in my library here, so why don't we take a look at one real quick? Where is it? Somewhere in here. Somewhere in this multiple... Oof, look at all these photos. Here we go. There's one right there. Yeah, so this is the RCPC Tamiya Arox 3363 that I've been working on. This was a pretty involved build. I'm not going to lie. Oh, hey. How's it going, Josh? Hi from Austria. Very cool. Best show on YouTube SBG. Thank you very much, Matt Ryan. That's very nice of you. So lots of weathering, lots of construction. It works, it runs, it makes noises, it vibrates a lot, and looks pretty darn cool. I'm pretty thrilled with it. Um, Lots of weathering went into this as well, and it's not like super apparent from these photos, but I did this oil dot method, and I explain all of that in tomorrow morning's video. So be sure to check that out tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. Eastern. Okay, let's go back to our quick collection, starting with photo number 1, and let's get to it. Why does that photo look so small? Wasn't that small before? Anyway, okay, so Todd Osman's Defender needs a crop. Uh, uh, is Josh as much of a smartass on your lives as you are on his? He tries, but let's be honest, nobody's as good as me. Hi, Moose Jaw. How many stickers for what? Anyway, let's get into this one. I'm going to start with our white balance here and kind of warm it up a little bit. Also going to immediately go into our saturation on reds and pull that down a little bit because it's always a little bit hot. I like this tan color that Todd's got going on here. It's very, whatchamacallit. You know, cool. Oh, my truck, not like the Fat Fox. You're right, Joe. Not a single sticker. Well, there were a couple of stickers, but it's mostly paint and some metal emblems, which were included. Very cool stuff. Few things to go on that truck still, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Thank you, Sue Sherwood, for the $5. Very kind of you. Like the finished results. I presume you're talking about the Arox. I'm pretty happy with it too. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. The whole idea with that was sort of cyberpunk 2077 in terms of the look of the truck. There's still a lot more to do to it to kind of get it to that level. I do want to weather it even further than it is now, but just wanted to get something done so I could share an update on that whole series. A little bit more vibrance, I think. Definitely going to bring up the texture and some clarity. I don't think this is a huge photo. It isn't. But let's still have a bit of fun with it, huh? So I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to play with some of the color of those background elements there. We're going to get our saturation nice and high. And then I think I'm just going to warm that up a little bit more and then even throw some magenta tint into the background as well. Yeah, Ed, there will be some neon on that truck. Not necessarily, like not real neon. It'll be LED based. But we're gonna do. Oh God, my wife is watching the show. Rebecca, don't you have other shows you could watch? She's probably gonna come down here now. we did have we had mushroom fajitas for dinner, and they were fantastic. I can hear it's so weird. I can hear me upstairs. Okay, gonna pull our exposure down just a touch in those background areas that I painted out. Yeah, I've got to be on my best behavior. We're gonna go less texture and less clarity just to really kind of blur it out. Real Husbands of Toronto's on. Yeah, she's watching it right now. Oh man. I want to see how much chat participation goes up. A little more contrast in that background. I'm just going to paint that in a little bit tighter there. I think that looks pretty good. The whole idea here was to try to center your eye without just doing a window around the truck because the truck's already pretty bright. That's looking pretty good. Let's go into our shadows. I'm going to pull those down a little bit more, just make it feel a little bit more like sunset. And pull our whites down a little bit too, so they get cleaned up a little bit. A little more black. We get the real truth about Matt. There is no real truth. What you see is what you get. All right. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's go full screen for a moment. Just a subtle transformation, not a huge difference. Before, after. Just sort of warming it up. Uh, brings a little more life to the truck itself. I think that looks pretty good. I don't think she's watching on the TV. I think she's probably watching on her iPad. Before, after. Yes, these tires, Country Boy number one, are Proline KO2s. They're probably the 4.19 size, which I love. I think they're a really great tire. I have them. I have the real ones on my real truck. Um, and is this an iPhone photo? I don't think so. It's pretty tiny, so I don't think so. And it did a good job of capturing all the detail work around the edges, so it probably isn't. All right. Book of Matt is an open book. Totally is. No, they're not a mud. Well, I mean, they're a scale tire, right? They're scale accurate. So that's what they look like in real life. Mine actually perform really well in the mud and the rock. So with the proper air or airing down, they are pretty great. All right, Todd Osman, thank you for your photo. That's a nice submission. I'll be sure to send it back. I hope everybody got the photos that I sent out today. If you did, make sure if you're going to use them on Instagram, tag the Scale Builders Guild in them. I like seeing them out there. Put them in your stories, everything. Yeah, Wes, I've never had any trouble with this tire. I like it a lot, and I've had them since before they were released. They are definitely a good looking, good performing scale tire. Are they a comp tire? No, absolutely not. All right, on to the next one. This one's from Greg Martin, and I don't know why I've passed this one over a few times already, but this truck is so boss. It just looks awesome. Traxxas TRX 4, yes. Bronco body, yes. Some cool stickers, cool front bumper. Look at that thing. That thing is pretty badass. It looks like it is metal too, which is also a plus. Cool looking super swampers, and just an overall badass looking truck. So thank you very much, Greg, for your submission. Let's see what we can do with this. Not a lot of saturation in this background, so maybe we can have a bit of fun with this one, and maybe we'll do one of those like everything except the truck is like completely. Is this guy old school RCC? Right on. That's amazing. Very cool. All right, let's start here. Whoa. Let's start here by just doing a quick adjustment on our color white balance. I'm going to go a little cooler with this one just because it will help the blues and the silvers of the truck itself. Try to get a little more vibrance out of those colors and some more saturation. I'm actually kind of, no, not to go back on what I was going to do, but I think it's actually looking a little bit better already. Pull some orange and some red into that, well, actually just orange, and then maybe we'll change this hue so it goes a little more into the browns there. Change our luminance so it gets a bit darker in the background and our foreground gets a bit lighter. Oh, Rebecca. Oh, man. You know what? I have moderators, Rebecca, and they will ban you. I'm not going to lie. It's a good song. Um, no context. Yes, Jeep Gladiator content coming soon. The video's shot. It was ready to go live before the holidays. And then I got word that I shouldn't post it because some of the things in that video haven't been released yet. So bear with me. It'll be here eventually. I promise. We're just gonna warm up this layer here. A little more life to this foreground. There we go. Maybe a little bit up in here too. I think Rebecca knows that because I'm focused on actually correcting these photos, I'm not constantly paying attention to the chat. I think we'll leave the leaves and this stick. I don't actually mind that stick. Kind of looks like just like a log. You know. Yeah. Let's go into the green hues there. Actually, we'll close that out because I think I'm feeling pretty good about that foreground now. Oh, I'm not going to let Josh mod my channel. No way. No way, Ryan. He's on his own. Yeah, whoever granted me mod status, that's their own problem. Let's add a little more black texture in there and maybe pull our shadows up a little bit so we get a little more definition on the grill. I don't think we're going to get anything out of that sky, which was unfortunate. Let's play with the hues of the greens like I was suggesting I was going to do. Maybe pull them a little more towards yellow there. That helps a lot. Yeah, the angle on this is great, Ed. He did a really nice job of capturing this truck. Nice and low, nice 3/4, so you get a bunch of grill, you get a bunch of the side profile. I think it looks really good. RC Max Master, I'm up for the challenge. Send me your worst possible photos. I will do the best I can. All right, what next? So I'm actually feeling pretty good about where that is right now. Let's do a quick full screen and check out the before and after. Okay, we've definitely brought the truck to life a little bit more than it was. Joe, why do I know that movie? Trying to figure out what that reference is. No context. Send your photos to submissions@scalebuildersguild.com. There is a link to that email in the description of the video. All right, what more here? Let's bring some more blue saturation in. Yeah, something like that. Helps a lot. All right. I think that's probably going to do it on this one. Let's go full screen one more time. Before, after, before, after. You know what? Let's throw a vignette in this as well. Just a medium one. Do we throw some grain on it too? I think we do. I think we throw a heavy grain on that. Just to kind of make it feel a bit more like an old picture from like someone's back catalog of, man, back in 1983 I owned this truck and I loved it. Something like that. Andy, yeah, Mueller, that's an awesome idea. A washing machine episode would be fantastic. That would be hilarious. I love that idea. All right, Greg Martin, thank you for your submission. Very cool looking Bronco. just awesome photo, great looking truck. Love all the custom work done to it. Thank you for your submission. All right, moving on. Number 3, Jorn Johannesson, Isuzu Moo. Nice background there, sir. Love this whole reflection thing going on here. Love all the rolling hills. A little tough to see this truck. It's a Loops RC model of some description. Something different about it then. Did No, that's the Isuzu from Tamiya. I don't know why it's a Loops. Maybe he just likes Loops. I'm sure that's probably it. Oh my god. Honestly, Rebecca, don't you have something better to do? You're done now? Okay. Thank you for your participation. Yeah, comedy always goes really well. Let's do a little rotation here. Get that horizon line fixed a little bit. And remember, if you're doing a rotation, you do have to constrain that crop so it actually goes into the photo. There we go. That's better. It does affect the angle of the truck, and I see why Jorn shot it the way he did. But I think it'll still work in this orientation. Chad, where does one get a metal RC body like the Bronco? That one wasn't metal. That was just I think that was just a Lexan body. I think that was just the Traxxas Lexan body just repainted on the outside. But I could be wrong. I don't think I am though. Not on that one. All right. I like our white balance where it is. I think there's going to be some fun stuff happening in there. Oh, thank you very much, Quack RC, for the $5. Hello, got my B17 Betty, number 8758. Love it. So about that Ford F100, I'm probably being a pain in the rear. What F100? Oh, yes, right. I think I probably owe you that one. I'll have to go through and find it. Quack. What's your real name again? So I can remember. We'll get to it though. I know you're just checking in. What we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do from now on, is just go in chronological order in the list, so that way everybody gets them. Yeah. So bear with me if I don't get to it tonight, but it will get done. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenging photo for sure. I think if we lower our contrast though, we get to see some of those details coming out there. And same thing with some of the shadow work too. I don't want to lose all of that shadow because there is some good stuff going on in there. I think we'll have to probably do a little paint by number on the truck here just to get a little more detail out of it. It is definitely a challenging photo. This is like, challenge me. Come on, do it. I'm here. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a very challenging photo. But I like a challenge. Well, who doesn't, right? Huh. Chris Drift, thanks for the £10, mate. A little thank you. Finally bought a Loops RC Pajero body for my old XC chassis I've had for years. Thank you for the content. Been awesome to watch and so much advice from weathering to tools. Thank you very much, Chris. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad to see you jumping back into the hobby. That's really awesome. It is a total blast. I can't get enough of this hobby, honestly. Chad Ray, thanks for the 99 cents. Thanks very much for the poop emoji that goes with it. Yeah, those Loops bodies are pretty amazing. I keep I keep telling myself I don't need another project because that was my other resolution for this year, was to finish projects that I've already started. I'm diligently in there every night working on this 6x6 XJ because I really want to get that truck done, and I'm almost there. Almost. All right. Let's finish with that window because I think we brought about as much out of there as I can without it going too far. Texture always helps, and a little clarity as well, so we get a little more background there. Some vibrance, I think. Wait, what happens mostly with vibrance? You can see in the bottom half of this water here where there's a little more blue and a little less white, and the same thing in the windshield. If you raise that, you get a lot more of that coming through, and that to me looks pretty interesting. I know, Guy on a Moose, I have a few Loops products. I've got his flare Hilux bed, which I have yet to find a use for. I had other things in the past. I do think I'm going to get one of his Unimogs, maybe the Doka, so I can do something kind of cool with one of those. But this is all stuff that I have to wait on. I promised myself I was going to finish stuff, so I'm really going to focus that on that. It might be. Ooh, gee, shocker! Maybe it is chocolate ice cream, chocolate soft serve. There are some RC Master movies that make you cry. Yep, for sure. There's a bunch of things out there. Predator, great movie. Love it when you quote movies, Matt. Thank you, Patina Guy. I love quoting movies. I have uh, an endless supply of quotes from all kinds of different movies. Just throwing some more blue here into the sky, just a little bit. Sort of matches what I've done in the water. Da, 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 you know. Let's bring some more saturation in there. There we go. Just what I wanted. Hello, Brett. How are you? Um, Saturation on our oranges. I'm going to bring that up so we get a little more of that background as a kind of a juxtaposition to the truck. And I am going to work on this color in the truck itself because I'm feeling like that hue is a little bit towards magenta, and I want it to go a little more either hardcore magenta like that or more towards red. I think that's going to work a little bit better. Hang on. There, somewhere in there. And it is pretty heavily magenta. You can see just in the saturation tool when I play with it there how it definitely goes more towards magenta. And I think that actually might help. We can always go into the hue on that and swing that more towards red if we want, or more towards purple. Maybe purple is the better choice. And I say that because purple works a little bit better with orange, so maybe that is probably better. Thanks for the 4.99, Ed. Much appreciated. Nice work tonight, Matt. I'm doing my best. These are challenging photos. This is a very challenging photo for sure. But I think we've made some progress. Let's go full screen for a moment. Before, after, I think that's a significant improvement. For, after. I like now, I think I must have updated Lightroom because now it's showing the rotation before and after. Or did it do that before too? I can't remember. Yeah, Master, you got to give us a spoiler alert on that one for the people who haven't seen Predator yet. Okay, so before, after, I think we're done with this one. Yorn, thank you very much for your submission. Another great one. Always love getting your photos, so keep bringing them on. All right, let's do the next one. Number 4, Indy Bama F350. Looks like stars and stripes. And the blue is in the wheels. That's pretty cool. That's a good looking F350 on an SCX-10.3 or XCS-10.2 chassis. Nice little environment there. Lots of great background elements, nice foreground elements like I like to see. That looks really good. Let's see if we can make it look a little bit better. Hi, Craig. How are you? Oh, you're watching on your cell phone tonight, eh? Cool, cool, cool. All right. Let's warm up this photo a touch. I think with white trucks specifically, a little bit of warmth in that white always helps. I like these wheels. These look like the Boom Racing crates, I think they're called. Yeah, nice, good looking rocks. Let's clean up, while I'm thinking about it, let's clean up some of these leaves here that are super offending. See what we can do anyway. Sometimes the computer does a better job of this than I do in terms of like finding something. Eh, like that. Fix this. There we go. See, I don't think we can get rid of that other one. But that one was sort of the most in your face, so I think we're okay now. All right, let's do a radial filter around just the truck here, nicely feathered out. And you know what? I'm looking at the clock. It's been half an hour. Now is about the time that the computer should decide it doesn't want to work anymore. So let's see how long this lasts. Hopefully, it'll just keep it on. I'm actually going to do a little bit of exposure, bringing it down a little bit, and lift our shadows a little bit, and even throw a touch more yellow in terms of the warmth into the whites. Yeah, I know I shouldn't jinx it, but I had to say something just in case it does work. All right, I'll call that done on that window. And then let's go into our greens and our saturation or luminance of the greens. We're going to bring that down a little bit to kind of increase its depth or heaviness. And same thing with our reds here. We're just going to crush those down a little bit in terms of their luminance as well. Nick, there are no requirements. A raw photo would be great. Not necessarily require those though. So just any big old JPEG that you've got. See you later, Mass Master. Have a good night. Thanks for checking in. Let's do a little paint work on these rocks here. See if we can't get a little more texture and depth out of those. Up our saturation on those a bunch. Lots more texture. There you go. A little more clarity as well. And we're going to keep those fairly cool so they are a bit of a difference between the front foreground and the background. Same thing here. Just to draw your eye in. Sort of the idea with that. Looks pretty good like that. Yeah, that's right, Mike. Lots of out of scale leaves. That's a good way to not get a photo submitted. Let's throw a vignette on this. Medium vignette, I think, is good. And I want to do a little filter on these wheels here. See if I can't bring these up a little bit. A little more saturation and get our highlights going there and maybe a little more exposure. I see a dog. What are you doing? Come over here. Come over here and say hello. No, don't bring your, I don't care about your ball. Come over here. Come over here. Jump up and say hello to all the people. No, don't go under the table. Come here, you ding dong. What are you being all loopy for? Say hi to the people. Come up here. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Up here. Come on. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. All done? Bye. Hound dog in a mission. He's a hound dog. Oh, hound dog. Anybody know what movie that's from? Blood, Bloodhound dog. Bloodhound. No? Nobody? Mike J, you bring some. Send me more photos, man. You know I'll correct them. Oh, stop talking about loops. You know I'm going to get one. Like I need another project right now. Okay, what was I doing? The wheel. Wheel is done. Full screen? Before, just had a bit of, like, not a lot of depth. Flat, that flat light throughout. So, really wanted to try to make it a little more deep. I think that helps. Which one's. Oh, if the dog is the hound, does that mean I'm the fox, Vidjo? No, that wasn't from that movie. No, it was from before, after. Was that a Missouri accent? Yikes! I was trying to do a little bit further south. That was from. Those are the only two photos you had, Mike. There's got to be more. What was that movie? Best in Show. Christopher Guest movie. Same guy that did Spinal Tap. It's all about dog people and dog shows. Awesome, hilarious movie. Yeah. All right, Indie Bama. Usually you're here. I don't think you're here tonight. It's just like you. Regardless, yes, Dana, that is a leaf. I don't think I can get rid of that though. That's a Photoshop job for sure. I don't think that this is gonna work. Eek. It just looks muddy. Muddy. I don't like it. Doesn't look right to me. Undo. Undo. That's a Photoshop deal for sure. Oh, because you're from Missouri. Okay. Anyway, that was the character is trying to become a ventriloquist, but he also loves his dog. So he's got like a puppet, and he's trying to do the word like the letter B, which is really hard as a ventriloquist. You can't like B B bloodhound dog bloodhound. It's hard. Next week, it'll be a full ventriloquism class. We won't be doing Lightroom. It'll be ventriloquism live. All right. Andy, thanks for your photo submission. On to the next one from Anthony Simonetti. Traxxas TRX4 Sport. Looks like it's got a hobby wing motor in it. And looking pretty good out on the trails there. These look like some manufactured rocks, just like the ones I have in my backyard. This isn't my backyard, is it? I hope it's not my backyard. Cool looking truck. That's quite the stinger. We call that one the Stinga. Flying dogs. That would be a good movie. All right, let's try to make this better. I think we're gonna lose some of that stinger. Or do we not do that and do we do this? Oh man, I don't know. Might be crazy. We constrain it. I actually don't mind that. And then maybe we do a little bit of a crop this way. And then maybe a little bit more of a crop this way. There we go. Focus on this stinger. There. That helps, I think. Yeah, I built a bunch of rocks just like this. I know the plants are growing sideways. I don't know. Is this do you mind that? and just like lose some of the stinger? Like this? Is this okay? Or do I need to go back further even? There, that's the original angle. What if we rotate it this way? So those plants are moving in the right direction. And then we constrain that. Yeah, that's better. Just the tip. Yeah. Uh, that is a long stinger, I won't lie. It does make it a little difficult to get this photo, but you know what? This is going to work fine. This is fine now. This is fine. This is fine. We're fine. How are you? There was a slight weapons malfunction down here a minute ago, but we're okay now. We're fine. How are you? All right. Warming it up. Let's lower our highlights a little touch. I feel like this one could use a little HDR action. That might be too much HDR action. Let's go heavier on the texture. Han did shoot first. As he should. Greedo is worthy of being shot first. He was going to shoot him anyway. Hue on our greens. Let's go more towards yellow. Makes this a little more desert-like. Yeah, I have a bunch of rocks like this in my backyard. I piled up a bunch of dirt because I was laying out some patio stones. And then I covered them in chicken wire, stapled all that down, and then just slapped on the cement. And then I tinted it with tinting powder. Dyed all my rocks. Let's throw a vignette on this one so Josh likes it more. I kind of like what we're doing here, actually. But we're going to need to window that truck, I think, because it's starting to get a little bit lost. So let's just do one of these. And amp up our saturation, but maybe cool it off a little bit so it separates itself a little bit more from the background. Like that. That's looking already a lot better. Make the stinger a roll cage. If you just bent it back a little bit more, maybe it would. Of course, Josh would not get that movie reference because he's never seen a Star War. Poor guy. He's missing out on so much in life. Especially with like Disney Plus and The Mandalorian and all the other Star Wars series that are coming. There's so much stuff that he could be seeing, but he's not. I just did a little bit of work on the tire and wheel there. Yeah, Dana, I live downtown. There are no rocks here. If there were, they're long gone. Tinted it with tinting powder. I don't remember what it's called. It's some kind of. Don't worry about it. They look great. Excuse me while I have a sip of my wine. You're missing nothing. You have no idea what you don't think you know you're not missing. All right. Well, let's see this photo before and after here. Before, after. I think that looks pretty cool. It's not drastically different, but it does definitely make it a difference. Before, after. I'd love to see some inner fenders, Anthony. So just a touch. Yes, I weathered my own rocks. No, big red bitch, it's just wine today. Plain old run of the mill wine. Very drastic? Josh, I guess it is kind of dramatically different. I like it. I think it looks good. Anthony, thank you for your submission. What time is it? 9:15. All right, let's keep going. We've only done 5? Oh, man. All right, on to the next one. Another Jorn Johansson photo. I wish I could skip them, but I can't. I'm not allowed. No context. There are 78 photos. We're not going to do all of them tonight. I usually do about 8 or 9 in a night. No, Paul. The fruit is in my fruit cake my mom made for me. That's where my fruit content is from today. So we've got a nice Mitsubishi. Which one is this? Pajero with some nice background stuff. Nice sun in the foreground. I love these photos where the sun is in front of you. Very challenging. Yeah, or 4. The problem is that these are so fun. These are fun live streams. These are a lot of fun, and I want to try to set the stage for a good productive year of these photos. Oh my God, Joe! Can you imagine how long that would take to do all of them? We'd be here for days, especially the amount of talking and looking at the chat that I do. All right. Are we warming this one up a little bit? Yes, we are. This one definitely worthy of some texture and clarity, I think. Look at all this foreground texture that's coming out. That is amazing. I really like that. Saturation feels pretty good where it is. Maybe we go a little more vibrant. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll need a lot more wine, that's for sure, Joe. Guyana Moose, you cannot go wrong with the Prusa. They are amazing printers. A barrel of actually just intravenous wine. I'm just changing the hue on our blue here. That's where it was. That's where it is now. It's just a shift, but I kind of like it. I love all this light coming through on the foreground here. So let's try to get a little more out of that. Just a bit. It's a good looking truck. Red saturation, we're going to pull that down a little bit. It's not so in your face. Before you end the stream, you go through all of them like a slideshow. That's correct. I do. Without editing, no. I don't go through all the photos. I don't share them all yet. I'll share all the ones that I've corrected. Yeah. Next week's stream, editing photos until I pass out from exhaustion. All right, where are we at here? Where are we at? Let's bring down our kayak a little bit here. I think that qualifies as a kayak. Just pulling saturation down. Maybe we go a little bit less exposure on that. And then let's change the hue. Do I have that option here? I think I do. Oh, we can change it here. Yeah, pink. That's not what I wanted to do. Just wanted to go a little bit deeper into the orange there. What does Pajero mean in Spanish, Robbie? Fill us in. What's behind the truck? That looks like a log. I believe that is some sort of wood-based log format. Wednesday live stream, Matt versus Josh. How many photos can be edited in 10 minutes? Well, Josh will just throw a vignette on each one. So for him, no problem. What, you feel like which was the bad idea? The kayak? Wrong hue shift, maybe? Can always go back. There we go. All right. Vignette. Maybe just a light one for this one. God, the dog up there. All right. Yeah, just start editing during tomorrow's stream. Oh, I missed what Pajero's Spanish for wanker. Oh my god, really? That's hilarious. Is that like the on the level of like the Nova, which is basically like a loose translation, no go? Ugh, funny. What is going on with this tool? That's so weird. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna lower that a bit so we don't see the headlight bucket. It's a skinny banana. There we go. All right. Let's do a little full screen before and after here. Cool photo. Before, after. Very subtle, but I think we brought. Oh, ooh. I just saw something I have to get rid of. Big ass pine cone. Unbelievable. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice pic. Jorn takes good photos. All right. One more before and after. Before, after. I like how that sun is kind of filling up the frame. That's really cool. Good photo. All right. All right. Let's move on to the next one. This one's from John Derrigan. Nice. Oh, I remember this body from the HPI trophy truck, right? That looks like it's on an SCX 10 2, I think. Yep. At least the axles from one. It looks like a TRX bumper. Weird. Maybe it's a little. Oh no, it is a Traxxas TRX4. My mistake. My mistake. Um, no context. We also do a stream tomorrow night. Josh and I do one 9 Eastern live stream takeover every Wednesday and every Tuesday for this show. Yes, hey John, there you are, buddy. It is a TRX4. You were right. Now let's see about this. I know that you were shooting it from an angle because all our trees are going this way. Let's see if we can fix that, or if we even need to. I mean, that's going to be pretty heavy duty crop. I don't think we can get away with that. Let's not do that. Just leave it where it was. And just deal with it for the way it is. I do love the paint scheme. Looks very cool. Let's crop it in this way a little bit so we get a little more centered in the frame. Do that so we can do that. And let's start with our whites. See if we can bring that down, and the highlights a little bit too. So we get a little more texture in the panels there. Definitely going to warm this one up. I think that's going to help a lot. Let's get rid of this. Lower our exposure a little bit. Bring our shadows back up. Add some texture. It's already looking better. A little more vibrance. Keep our saturation basically right where it is. Bring up the oranges a little bit more. See what else we can do here. Throw a medium vignette in there. Just going to play around a little bit here, so bear with me. These color wheels are definitely bring some fun to it. Trying to make it look a little more like a deserty um, vintage photo. Maybe try some grain on this one as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a good looking truck. I love that body. They're hard to come by nowadays. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good. Two thumbs up, one for the truck, one for the channel. Thanks, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Good friend gave you the body. Well, he is a very good friend. I'm surprised at how well it fits on the TRX4 actually in terms of the wheelbase. I remember that HPI truck being very small, so that's pretty cool. Let's do a little before and after. I think that makes it feel kind of like a 1980s inspired kind of shot now. I think that looks pretty good. This body, no context, is way too narrow for a slash. It would look pretty weird. Before, after. Nice one, John. Thanks for the submission, buddy. And again, anybody out there who's not familiar with this show, Lightroom Live, you can send your RC photos to me, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. I take them into Lightroom here from Adobe and correct them and send them back to you the following week so you can use them on your Instagram or your MySpace page or GeoCities or your my OnlyFans or whatever. All right. What time is it? 9:30. Let's try and get a couple more in here. Here's one from Sean's RC Adventures. What is this, Chicago or New York City? And who leaves cigarette butts everywhere like that? Gross. Um, let's try and fix this one. Let's definitely do a rotation on this one. Get that horizon line in check. That's actually going to make the truck feel a little more aggressive anyway, so that's good. Constrain to make sure everything fits. That looks pretty cool. I like the rub down paint on this. Looks very interesting. Let's see if we can't get a little more on this truck here. Definitely feels like it's hiding in shadow a little bit, so we'll see what we can get out of it. What there is, hopefully. Oh, Josh, wait until tomorrow's video. All right, there we go. It's a good start. Radial filter, maybe help out a little bit more. No, I'm going to delete that. I don't think we need that yet. It's more sky in here. There we go. Doesn't everybody still have a MySpace page? You, if you don't, you should get one. Man, get on it. Let's pull that green hue, a little less green overall. That helps. This is NYC, so that's Central Park then. Ah, Central Park in Newark. Very cool. Oh, let's get rid of those cigarette butts while I'm thinking about it. And that one over there. Like they were never there. Fantastic. And it looks like somebody did some chalk art on this, so we're going to try to saturate that for fun. No context. Anything from Axial, Traxxas, Element RC, RC four-wheel drive. Those are all good places to start. All right. The rainbow of chalk here kind of matches the color of the truck. A scotch. Our highlights where they were there. A little more vibrance overall, definitely more saturation. Feeling a little cloudy here, so I'm going to try to adjust that. I feel like I went a little too heavy or up in the shadows. There we go. That's better. And texture. Oh, look at that. Just brings it to life when you add a little bit of texture in, huh? And some clarity too, so we really get the idea that paint is all wrecked up. That looks pretty dope already. Maybe do a little bit of work on these rocks here. Just add some highlights here and there. There we go. Audio still good. I can't believe it. What did I do right this time? Let's go into our saturation. Oops, let's close this out. Saturation on red. Pull that down a little bit because it was getting a little buzzy. Bring up the orange though. And there we go. I think that's a pretty big difference. Let's do a radial on just the wheel here, just to get a little more definition in that front wheel. And that's looking pretty good. Full screen. Before. After. Before. After. I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that one. Spur gear, yeah. I see it too. I don't know if there's much I can do about that. I'll try to do a little bit of work in that area. Okay, that wasn't that hard. Cool. Pops out a lot on purpose, though, Nathan. The idea was to try to get the truck to sit off the background a little bit more, give us a little bit more texture. Before, after. I think that's looking pretty good. Sean, thank you for your submission, my friend. Great photo, great location. Really like everything about that. That's a really great photo. Thank you very much for your submission. 9:35. Let's do this last one here. I believe it's from Craig Banks. And I think we're going to call it a day after this one. So, nice looking Rubicon. Brand new tires. They still have the blue dots on them. Nice looking photo. That's pretty cool. Good location, great looking rocks. Nice color on this Jeep too. Not one I've seen before. Is this a J Concepts body? I didn't know they made a Jeep. No, this is an axial body. Must be. Anyway, I like the soft top, like everything about it. Let's get our exposure set a little bit lower there. Pull down our highlights. Bring up our shadows ever so slightly. Get our whites up a little bit too. Blacks down. Texture up. A little bit of clarity. No. Yes. Somewhere in there. How about right there? Oh, shoot. I got to do Tim's Bronco. That's right. It was the cover shot. I should always do the cover shot regardless. Okay. So I'll do that one. That'll be the last photo after this one. Thank you for the reminder, Joe. All right. Bring some more orange into this overall. Some more yellow too. Actually, instead of that, no, I'll do that. And then I'm going to do a window over the Jeep. Tone that down a little bit. Just a scotch. So we still get some separation between it and the background. There is some fairly heavy chromatic aberration going on in those shadows, but we'll deal with that for now. Let's pull our saturation on our reds down a little bit because that was buzzing. And maybe play with the hue of our greens there. There. Blue saturation. I'm going to take that out a little bit. And I think that's going to do it. Let's put a little vignette on there too. Full screen on that one. Before, after. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Before, after. Great photo. Thank you, Craig. That was an easy one. Oh, look at that. It's got a Scaled Builders Guild sticker on there. Nice work. Love it. Looking good. Okay, now to find Tim's photo, which was the cover photo, which was his Bronco. Here it is. Awesome looking element. Enduro, I believe. That's been converted to a hard body with some really nice printed graphics on there. I like the topography sticker. That is cool. Good looking truck. Let's see what we can do with this one. I feel like this was definitely an iPhone photo. You can tell from that sort of thing right there. But not to worry. We'll make it work. Gonna warm it up a little bit. Oh, should we do this as like a speed round? Or should I give it the time that it deserves? I'll let you guys decide. Samsung, eh? Hello, Jade. Nice to see you. Check. Oh, shoot. Oh, darn. I didn't set a timer. I gotta set a timer. What do we do 2 minutes for these, right? Okay, here we. Awesome truck time it deserves. Never mind. No timer. All right. All right. Cool. Let's pull those highlights down a little bit. Pull our shadows down. Sometimes it's a bit of a like, maybe this, maybe that. Actually, don't mind bringing those shadows down a little bit. Lots of texture, I think, is required. And some clarity as well. It's already looking pretty cool. I love this color, Jade. Very, very cool. iPhones generally have a hard time with the edges. Whenever, and I mean any phone, if they have this portrait mode, that's what sort of happens. It has a hard time seeing the edges of tiny objects like this. If it were your face or your dog or whatever, yeah. But that's just how they work. Love the texture in these rocks. I really want to try to bring more of that out. That sky is something else. Was Jade, was this out with Vidyo at one point in your travels? Just going to do a little bit of sharpening on that one, actually. We do a medium vignette on this one too. Let's go into the luminance here of our oranges. Crush them down a little bit. Change our reds and then add a little saturation in there as well. Same with the orange again and the yellow. Our blue sky is just like popping up there, so I think I'm going to adjust that a little bit. Somewhere in there might be a little more doable. And then luminance wise, I'm going to pull that up a little bit too. That feels a little bit better. Dry Creek with Vidyo, I was right. And I'm going to do a little bit of work on these rocks here. So I really like the texture. I want that to sort of pop a little bit more. Even up here too. Just on that. There we go. Just to separate the truck a little bit more, I am going to shift it all a bit blue. Do I only do crawler photos? No, not really. I mean, whatever gets submitted, mostly trucks are the things that get submitted to this channel, but I've done boats, I've done drag cars, I've done boats, I've done drag cars. But I mean, whatever you submit, if it's RC related and it's a photo, I will be correcting it. Yes, Jade does have a Bronco problem. In fact, I should mention that sort of like unofficial challenge that's going on Instagram that I've been seeing a lot of, the cab over challenge, where guys are taking RC models and making them all cab overs. So the cab goes over the front axle. There's some very cool stuff happening. Jade himself is known as Timp RC, I think on Instagram is the proper nomenclature. And they're taking these trucks. He took a Bronco and made it a cab over, and it looks amazing. It's so great. So definitely something you guys should check out there. It's very, very cool. All right, I think that's probably good. Let's go full screen for a moment on that. That looks pretty neat, man. Good locations you guys have out in Utah there, despite still being there. I kind of wish I could go out there and check it out. Before, after. That's some significant difference. Before, after. I dig it. Looks pretty good. Yeah, remember with your submissions to keep it clean. RC related, but let's keep it RC family friendly adjacent. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up. Let's go through all the photos that I did so far today. We'll go full screen for these. Jade's Bronco before, after, and all the way back to the beginning. Started with Todd Osman's Defender here, before, after. Then Greg Martin's Bronco, before, after. I really like that photo. Try to tell me what your photo for the photo of the week is. Um, yeah. So if there's one out there that you really like, pop it in the chat. Let me know. Jorn Johannesson and his Isuzu, before, after. Indy Bama's F350, before, after. Anthony Simonetti and his TRX4, before and after. Another one from Jorn, his Pajero this time around, before, after. John Derrigan's very cool TRX4. I like this one a lot. Before, after. Sean's RC Adventures in New York City. New York City! Before, after. I'm pretty chuffed on that one too. That one looks pretty good. Craig Banks and his JK. Before, after. And that's all we did. That's all we did. That's it. Not very many this week. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not bad. I'd say 10 is pretty good. Yeah, might be New York City or the Bronco for me. Both looked really good. All the photos this week are great. And I'm going to keep sticking to this. We're going to go in chronological order. We're going to nail all these. Of course, next week, I won't be able to start at 1 because that means I'll be, well, actually, yeah, I think I'll be able to start at 1. I don't think these are in alphabetical order. No, they're all over the place. So we'll just keep going. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. If you'd like to submit your photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. I will correct, after these have been done and processed and spit out, I will send these next week. And then if you got your photos this week, be sure to put them out in the Instagram world out there and tag Scale Builders Guild. I love seeing all of these live in the digital world. So thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow night, live stream takeover with Josh Ding Dong Designs. And also tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, episode 2 of RCPC comes out. So some significant changes and stuff has been happening on that one. And be sure to tune in for that. No crashes, no weird computer anomalies tonight. It's probably because 2021 is going to be a great year. Happy New Year, everybody. See you tomorrow night for Livestream Takeover.